Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at Cassie Sheep's Fluid Kit. This is a water generator and water asset library that comes with over 330 different water assets that you can work with. This is currently doing a 25% offer, and for those who like to get this, then you can come through and check it. And with that said, we're going to dive right into Blender and explore how this actually works. So with Blender simply open up right here, how you get to work with this is pretty easy, as all you need to do to get things going once you download the add-on is to go over to edit, go over to preference, go all the way to where you've got add-ons, and then you need to install the add-on. And right now we have ours installed, and once you have yours installed, you need to click on the burger menu and save your preference. With this done, if you simply tap N on the keyboard, you would notice that right here you've got Fluid Kit. Fluid Kit, like we mentioned earlier, comes with over 330 different assets, and these assets you can find them right here. So if we simply go over to the asset section, we can toggle between geometry node assets or the static assets that we have, as the static asset comes with over 330 assets and the geometry node one comes with about 6 of them. So we can select the thumbnail and take a look at the ones that we currently have. Now the static one that we mentioned earlier has a lot of things, from simple splashes to huge splashes, all the way to just having circular motions, various kind of splashes. You would find them here. So depending on what you're trying to create, how you get to work with this is pretty easy, as this simply requires you to select the given one that you want or the set of given ones that you want, and you can click on import, and this is going to ask a few questions and we can have that imported. In this case we've imported one, and we can proceed to import as many of the static mesh that we want. And in this case we're just going to throw in a few of these, and we're going to throw Suzanne into the mix just because, you know, we can. So once we have this ready, we can go ahead and start exploring a couple of things. One of the things includes the rendering. So for the rendering, I'm just simply going to switch this to cycles, set this as GPU, and we're simply going to go over and take a look at what this looks like. And this looks really cool. Now for the lighting, the physical starlight and atmosphere will do just fine. Of course, if you do have your own light tool, you can proceed to use them. There's a ton of them that you can find on Blender Market, and you can also proceed to build yours. And for this example, I'm just simply going to stick with F3. For the atmosphere, we can crank this up a little bit, maybe something about 4, and we can go ahead and check out some nicer stuff. So now that we have the static meshes, we can choose to play with the material, and this currently comes with 4 different materials. So if you like to have some beer-like material, of course you can. So you can have that selected and click on add material to add that material to the specified fluid static mesh that you've selected. So you can add this to all of them, or you can just add this to the specific ones. Now you can also proceed to make changes to the color, and this is in terms of stylization. Maybe there is a particular style you're going for, you can do all of that. There's also the rim light, which is something that can come in super handy. So you can increase the rim light if you want, and you can dim that if you choose. There's also the transition that comes with random color and also light as well. And for pattern, there is the wave section that deals with strength and also the brighter. So depending on how clear you want your fluid to be, you can have that. If you want this to just be as typical fluid, you can drop that down. If you like to increase that, make it a bit more transparent, you can always proceed to crank this all the way up. Now the second part of this has to do with geometry node, and to explore that we need to go over to the GN asset, which is the geometry node asset section. We're going to turn on our overlays, and for this I'm simply going to hide all of these other ones, and then we can proceed to explore all these ones that we have here. Now one thing which I will mention is, if you're working with the geometry node, unlike the static ones, size matters. It really does, because in this case, if we set this to 1 and then we import, this is what we're getting. But if we go ahead and set this to 5, for example, and we import, this is what we're getting. So it matters. So depending on the kind of piece that you're working with, you can play with the size however you want, crank it up, crank it down, and just get the best result out of it. We can go over to the fluid kit, go over to the material section, play with the material, play with the control if we want, and all 6 of these have different controls. So we can play with the control if we want. Possibly we would like to crank the width a little bit down, we can do that. Maybe we like to play with the frequency, maybe we like to play with the details, maybe the animation speed, because this is fully animated. So if we press the playback button, you can see the animation going. Maybe we like to play with that, or possibly we would like to play with some additional details. We can do all of this. Now something else which is also super impressive is every of the stuff that you work with the geometry version, these are basically controlled by curves. So you can go in and make some changes. So we can go over to the edit section and we can have certain parts of this model selected and we can make some changes. So maybe we would like to add some changes right there. Maybe we would like to move certain points to certain places, create some dynamism. You can do all of that. And again, if you'd like to see what this looks like, you can definitely go ahead and render it. And again, every single asset you've got with the geometry node is fully animated, so you can simply, have these things playing back the animation, and you can control the speed, the width, and every other detail right here to achieve the exact result that you want. Now, in some cases, you possibly will be needing more stuff. So for this one, what we're going to do is to have that selected, and I'm going to hide that. Let's bring back the overlays and explore with a different kind. Just like we mentioned with the other one, this as well is being controlled by curve. There are other things that you can now do with this. One of them is if you go over to the edit mode, just like we did with the first one, and you make certain changes. What if you like to add more stuff? Draw a few fluids here and there. Yes, we can. So to do that, it's pretty simple. We need to go over to the draw tool, and with the draw tool, we can draw in our own fluid. And the cool thing, all of these are animated as well. So we can draw in the fluid that we want, draw maybe another one right here, get some very cool effects. And once we're done, we can go back to the object, go down to where we have got the fluid, and in this case, you'll notice that the parameters we've got for this other one is totally different from the one we had with the first one. So you can go in here, make some changes, do some cool stuff, go over to the material, make some changes, do some cool stuff, and get the best result out of them. So this is it. This tool is pretty impressive, it's really clean, and I love the implementation that Cassie Sheep alongside Miyu have made for this. For those who like to explore with this, possibly you like to play with it, then you can simply go over to the link in the description that I'll bring you right here, where you can grab it and start working with it. It is pretty impressive. It is a cool tool for those who are into product visualization, or possibly you're into concept art, or maybe you just need some fluid to accentuate the scene that you've been working on. Then you can find this one super useful. It's one of those one-click tools that can get the job done. And currently, this is going for 25% off. And speaking about 25% off, Cassie Sheep is also doing another 25% off for the Lazy Forest. Lazy Forest previously wasn't having this, but now the 25% off is available. You can go ahead and check it out. We've already talked about this one before. It's really nice. Go ahead, grab it, play with it, do the best you can with it. And speaking of a percentage off, another set of creators that are doing a good discount right now are the folks at True VFX. They're currently doing a 50% off, and you can get that with a coupon code, which I'm going to put in the description. All you need to do is once you get to checkout, put in the coupon code, and you'll be able to get any product that they've got for 50% off. This is running from now till the 2nd of April 2025. So just in case you like to get that, links to that and links to this as well is going to be in the description. So do well to check them out. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.